May we please request the media? आराम से please, सब लोग please बैठ जाइए आराम से. Ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Mr. Mike Tyson, His Royal Highness Sheikh Tahnoon, Prince of Abu Dhabi, and His Excellency Zulfikar Ghadiali. May we please request all the guests to please take your seats. Yes. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, gracing the occasion and the country for the very first time, none other than the legendary Mr. Mike Tyson. Thank you so much indeed for joining. We also have the august presence of His Royal Highness Sheikh Tahnoon. Well, दोस्त लोग अभी बारी है कि प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस को कंटिन्यू करें, तो लेट्स हैव यू ऑल प्लीज सेटल. फोटोग्राफ का सेशन भी चलेगा, बट लेट्स हियर इट फ्रॉम आवर गेस्ट एज वेल. लेट्स हैव ऑल ऑफ यू प्लीज सेटल. आराम से कर लेते हैं, एंड लेट्स हियर इट.
And hope everybody an amazing night tomorrow and a good fight, and hope and that's it. I'm just here to support both teams and wish both teams all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us. And may I now request His Excellency Zulfikar Ghadiali to also share his words.
Good evening, everyone. We are very proud and happy to be associated with the Committee 1 League. Just for my introduction, I am CEO for the Royal Office of His Highness Sheikh Tahnoon bin Saeed Al Nahyan. Sheikh Tahnoon is a grandson of ruler of Al Ain in Abu Dhabi, and a trained army man and an ardent fan of MMA and fights. His entire family has been passionate about sports and physical endurance and activity, and I think that's what we are here to support. And happy to answer any questions with Sheikh and Tyson the Great himself.
Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, it's now time to hear from the legend himself. लेकिन एक जोरदार तालियां हो जाए, कैमरास को जरा सेपरेटली रखकर जोरदार तालियां हो जाए, because for the very first time, he's not only graced the occasion, but graced the country for the very first time, ladies and gentlemen. May we please hear from the legendary Mike Tyson.
Hi, I'm just very grateful to be here. This is my first time in India. I'm very excited about being here. This is something I never dreamed of before. And I'm just happy to be here. I look forward to going to the fight. And I wish to both the best teams, the best man wins. Or woman. Thank you.
Firstly, thank you very much, sir, for joining us. In fact, when we're talking about combat sports, and the one name that resonates in all of our hearts, all of our minds, is you indeed, sir. So thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you so much.
All right, so well, on that note, let us now move on to the next segment of the program. We've got to hear from our dignitaries. Also, please note that pehla jo fight night hai, the first fight night will be scheduled tomorrow at the Dome. So I hope all of you are geared up for this wonderful match tomorrow, the fight night. Well, on that note, let's get the questions from the media as well, now that we have heard from all of our dignitaries. What we're going to do is, while we open the floor for Q&A, I'm going to request you to please raise your hands. We'll have the mics passed on as well, and then we'll take the questions. So, okay, we have a couple of hands coming in here. Tanya, I'll pass on the mic this way. All right, let me do the honors.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Zohaib from media. Mike, to your left. Yeah, hi. Most welcome to India. We are quite very excited and glad to see you over here in India in blood and flesh. So we have heard a lot of stories about you. You have been a... So we have been hearing stories about you that you are a boxer who played not to lose any time, and you are a sportsman who is known for his spirit of never to lose. So what's your message to the sportsmen and women in India, and how excited are you to be here in India?
Hello.
Well, hello. I'm very excited to be here. And that's why I wish the best of luck to both of the fighters that be here. And when you were telling me about never losing, in life everybody lose. We lose everything in life at one time or another. But I'm just knowing if you lose in life, to never be discouraged and to keep on fighting and to keep on training. And that's what I learned during life. Never to give up.
All right, well, also let's take more questions about the league as well. I'm sure there would be some questions coming in there. So I'm going to pass on the mic. All right, there you go.
Right. Big honor to talk to you, sir. Welcome to India. My question is, as a boxing legend, what are you also an MMA fan? And if so, who are some of your biggest fighter inspirations in the world of MMA or fighters you enjoy watching?
I'm a big fan of MMA. I go to the UFC all the time. In Las Vegas, it's sponsored in Las Vegas, the UFC. So I go there all the time. Dana White is a good friend of mine, so I go to the UFC all the time.
All right, let's take the next question. Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Right. What are your thoughts on the concept of Kumite One League? For the first time, we're having something like a country versus a country rather than an individual versus individual. What are your thoughts on it?
Somebody interpret that for me.
So, Mike, the question was, what is your thought about the Kumite One League? So, typically in the MMA match, you have individual fighters fighting, but this one is country versus country, India versus UAE. So, what's your thought about it?
I think that's awesome, the competition between the two countries, and I think they should always continue to have something like that, because that's really awesome for inspiration for your country. So I'm going to be excited to come to all the Kumar One Leagues I can, as long as I've been invited by Brother Muhammad. Thank you.
Maybe I could also request Mr. Aditya to share his thoughts about this particular format as well.
So, check. So we do have, as Mike said rightly, I mean, this is something very different than what has happened before. You see MMA, you see all different promotion all across the world doing individual sport. But when you tag along where you tag along the country pride along with the athletes, you're going to have a product which is not going to sell, but where athletes going to focus. They're not going to fight for themselves, but they're going to fight for the country. They're going to represent the country, and they're going to make the country proud. So usually you typically wait for Olympics to happen every 4 years, but now with Kumite One League, with this MMA fighting championship, we're going to do this every season. So you're going to see more number of fighters coming in and representing their country and making their country proud.
That's what I wanted to say.
So this question is with Sheikh Tanun. To your left, sir. Oh yeah, to your left. Yeah. How are you feeling to be here in India? And this question is about this is sports, mixed martial arts. Really, we are quite thankful to you to just have Mike Tyson over here, and just to speak up something about this sport, mixed martial art, and its condition in Dubai, and how are you just excited about this sports to have in India?
First of all, I'm really happy to be here in India, and especially Mumbai. The fight is, I'm here, as I said, for the both teams. I wish the both teams all the best, but of course everyone wants his country to win. But hopefully it's going to be a good fight and an amazing night too. Let's see what happens tomorrow, and hopefully we'll talk more about it after the fight and see what goes tomorrow night.
Mike, in your professional career, who was your most difficult opponent?
Shoot, I had quite a few. Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, Razor Ruddock. Yeah, there's quite a few. Buster Douglas. Yeah. Really tough fighters.
Any questions from behind? Any further questions? Yes, sir.
Hi, Mike. Welcome to India.
How you doing?
All good. Since it's your first time in India, everyone here in India is trying to welcome you. We've got to know that Bollywood star Salman Khan is going to host you a grand party. So just want to know, are you also excited for that?
Please.
Check. So I think you got the, maybe that's a rumor that's floating around. So his question was, some of the Bollywood celebrity, one of the biggest Bollywood celeb has invited you for a dinner. So that was the question. So I think that's just rumor.
Tell him I'm going to the slums. Tell him I'm going to the slums. I'm not going to no party.
Yep. So Mike has been very specifically been telling that he wants to go to Dharavi. He wants to go to the slum because he wants to look at all these kids, look at the family there, because that's what the motivation, why? And his exact words were, people when they look forward, when they look on the other side, where you see big houses, big row houses, and you see yourself and you get motivated, you work hard towards achieving that status. So Mike, would you like to say something? So Mike, would you like to say something about how you grew up? And
Oh, yeah, I'm a slum dog. I grew up in the slum, but I had ambitions and I wanted to get out of the slum, and that's why I'm here talking to you guys now. And there's nothing wrong with the slums. It's just somebody that had bad times, but if they work hard, they can get out of the slums. See, I still go back to my old neighborhood, even though they call it the slums. I still go back there and see my friends.
Hi. Hi, Mike.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine.
A quick question on some of the current heavyweights today. Specifically three guys. There's Joshua, there's Fury, and Wilder. So I just wanted to know your thoughts on the three of them and who you think would probably be the best of the three.
I don't know. I think Joshua right now, but Tyson Fury hasn't fought in a while.
Right. He's going to fight Wilder now, so.
Well, that's going to be an interesting fight.
Yeah.
I don't think Fury had enough fights yet. He should have warmed up and got more fights before he fought him.
Any further questions? Yes, we see one from there. We'll hand over the mic too.
Hello again.
Hey.
Hey. So if you had the opportunities earlier on, would you have pursued a career in MMA as well?
I don't know. They don't pay a lot of money in MMA. So I would have went with the money. Fighting's where the money is. Boxing's where the money's at.
Hi, India is known for a cricket. Here, left. Sorry, right. Yeah, right. Hi.
I see you.
India is known for a cricket. Here, Indian, they eat, sleep, and drink cricket. So how much of cricket do you follow?
Excuse me?
So question for you is that in India, cricket is one of the biggest sport. So what do you think about? How much cricket do you follow? Do you know cricket? Do you follow?
Well, I know cricket. I don't follow cricket, but I know you hit the ball with the stick. And then you run. It's like baseball in a way. American baseball, similar.
Hi, Mike. Hi. Mike, you said you were a great fan of UFC as well. What did you think of the Mayweather versus McGregor fight? Was it something credible for you, or?
That was a good fight. I was entertained, yes.
Okay, so but that is something boxing needs to go, for their ratings. You know, the HBO today does drop the deal. They are not going to show live boxing anymore.
HBO's not going to show live boxing anymore?
Yes, yeah, today announced.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so is it something that way to go for boxing?
I don't know. That's really that's a tricky question. I'm not sure. If they don't show boxing on television live, how they're going to get paid? I don't know. This is tricky.
हेलो मैक हेलो मैक
Hello, ma'am.
आपको कैसा लगा हमारा हिंदुस्तान आप यहाँ पे आप आए हैं घूमने के लिए तो आपको सब में कौन सी चीज़ प्यारी है हिंदुस्तान में
Yeah, I'll take the video if you want.
So Mike, the question is, what did you like about India? What's the most favorite part about India? What's the favorite thing about India for you?
Well, I just got in India, so I didn't have a chance to see much. But I look forward to going to the slums. And the Taj Mahal as well.
Thank you. Wait, there's one question.
I want to go to the Taj Mahal, yes.
Yeah. Hi, Mike.
Hello.
Hello. Would you agree? Is it fair to say that boxing today kind of doesn't, capture the imagination of fans in the same way as your era did? Would you agree with that? And if you do, why do you think that is the case?
Well, it's just different because they're not the big personality. Most of the fighters now are very straightforward guys. They're real nice guys, and they're good individuals. I was always in trouble. I was always here and there, so that's why I was always in the paper and stuff. And that's why it's the difference, because those are really straight gentleman guys, and I was really wild and stuff, and I was just a young kid getting in trouble.
Hi, Mike.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? I just want to know that, the thing is in full-fledged boxing, when you are on the ring, a lot of thing, goes on, like when you are battered, does your head work or your mind? Like how important is it for a boxer to overcome the challenges and react quickly and fight back at the opponent?
Well, when you first start and you start training in boxing, you get adapted to that. You get to learn to train your mind to understand that we're in a fight. You have to understand that you're in a fight because you can get hurt in a fight if you're not conscious enough. And I think most of the fighters nowadays are really subconscious on how they think when they fight now.
My question is to Mr. Budwani. Sir, wanted to know what do you think is the future of Kumite One League? Are you planning to take it to different cities in India and organize event there, or only confine it to one city and get all the fighters from different state in one place?
We are planning to do the league in India and UAE in the first time, and then you never know, maybe some other part of the world. In India, definitely we'll do it in Mumbai, Delhi, and different parts of the city. But for the next, for another league, we are planning to do it in Vegas and in Europe.
All right, I believe we have a question from that side as well.
Sir, do you know who Vijender Singh is? He's one of the most popular Indian boxers today. So what are your thoughts on him? Do you follow him?
Excuse me? No, I'm not aware of it.
All right, so we'll just take one last question, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'll come to you.
Mike, welcome to India and especially in Mumbai.
Thank you.
I'm from ABP Group, ABP Maza and ABP News. I just want to know, what are your thoughts, what boxing has given to you, and why are you visiting slums? Do you think that boxing is the sport which has to be nurtured in underprivileged children?
I think the poorer you are, the better boxer you are. And that's why people in the slum, those are the guys that become the fighters and the most successful fighters, the people that come from the slum. All the fighters that come from the slum are the successful, really. All the fighters that are fighting now come from the slum or some kind of, institution or correctional place.
Okay. All right, I believe question coming from a young kiddo, sir. Right there. All right.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you.
Welcome to India, sir.
Thank you very much.
So my question is, while you were fighting Mr. Andrew Galota, were you having a really hard time?
Yeah, he was really tough.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, on that sweet note, it's time for us to close the Q&A round. I'm so sorry, ma'am, but it's time to completely close. Okay. So here's the thing,
Nice
ladies and
shirt.
gentlemen, and our friends from the media, we're going to be calling it a close to the Q&A round. But of course, we're going to be thanking once again Mike Tyson for gracing
you.
the country. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
My
We'd like to thank
pleasure.
Mr. Budwani as well. Yes, that's right. We're going to request everyone to come together for a group photograph. So photographers, please, thoda aram se. We'll have you all take the photograph. Sir ji, aram se. Group photo hoga. Aram se. Okay. Sir ji, आराम से, please, please, silently, quietly, please.